Which musicians or band style is so unique, they're essentially their own genre. Lol, so many of these are so familiar to me. I don't have a good answer, but you all are nuts thinking some of these sound like all their own thing. And some of the older bands that were their own sound definitely aren't anymore. The first thought I had was the Avalanches, because I've never personally heard anything quite similar, but I'm sure I could be proven wrong. Adam and the Ants. In his heyday those songs were major hits mostly in the UK, but one or two in the US, and there's never been anything like it since. And not the drums that was part of a mini moment, it's in the backing vocals and song structure. Totally unique for pop music. I think Lana Del Rey invented what is now a very popular genre. No one sounded like her when she first came out. And she's evolved pretty uniquely too. Her earlier work doesn't sound much like her more recent work. Compare albums like Born to Die and Norman fucking Rockwell. Primus is currently the top response. Les Claypool idolized Mark Sandman of the band Morphine. Morphine is my answer. A guy singing and playing a 2-string slide bass, plus a percussionist and a guy literally playing 2 saxophones at the same time. Yuzo Koshiro did the impossible with the Sega Genesis sound chip, and did it constantly and consistently. Check YouTube for musicians' reactions to his work. Streets of Rage 2 Bare Knuckle 2 soundtrack is still blowing minds over 30 years later. Issues. Their lead vocalist is an R&B soul singer. Their guitarist plays a unique blend of metal and jazz riffs. Their drummer plays a lot of metal post-hardcore beats, and their bassist is known primarily for playing jazz funk. Brian Eno and David Byrne whenever they work together. Just rediscovered My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, and holy cow, this album is so different. I guarantee, if you listen to any track on it, you'd never guess when it was made. The OCs, currently styled as Aussies, and mostly because they never do the same thing more than like 2 or 3 times tops. Listen to Castlemania, then listen to A Foul Form. They do that constantly. Behemoth. They are their own genre, most definitely. To call them black and death metal misses the mark. Emo. Everything about their presentation and energy and the like is truly unique. Love them. Before the millions of jam bands came on the scene, Jerry Garcia had the best quote about the Grateful Dead. "We are not the best at what we do. We are the only ones who do what we do." Aphex Twin. Not much going on like that, although others have tried. James Holden has evolved from prog trance wonderkid to very experimental avant-garde krautrock jazz. I've yet to find anyone similar to 70s Mike Oldfield. Tangerine Dream probably comes closest, but they're all synth and sequencers, while Oldfield is very guitar-based. Pink Floyd. They get lumped in with the prog movement more than anything, but as a massive prog head I simply don't think they fit. It's uniquely them. Stone Temple Pilots. Jazz lounge standards grunge. They really do have all of those elements, and yet somehow make it sound fresh and familiar. Black Midi. The vague definition is like fusion jazz metal, but that doesn't really do it justice, and any song can be wildly different in style. CKY. The old CKY Volume 1 act. Nobody plays guitar the way Darren Miller does, not saying he's the best, just incredibly distinctive. Vector. Nothing like sci-fi death thrash to start the day. Vector Tetrastructural Minds. Killing Joke. Godflesh. Both took contemporary genres and turned them into something uniquely their own that was emulated by others later. Katzenjammer. They're kinda, I dunno, cabaret with blues rock? Hard to describe, but I haven't heard anything else like him. Kalafina. If only they didn't disband. Yuki Kaji or his other group, Fiction Junction, just doesn't have the same magic. Dance Gavin Dance. There's a subgenre of post-hardcore called swankcore named after their lead guitarist, Will Swan. Billie Eilish is practically the only artist that has music with kind of horror-like themes, which is cool. Jandek. Can't work out, is he a master troll or just a really terrible sounding but perhaps genius musician? There's this new singer called Sister Rosetta Thorpe. The Mountain Goats have a pretty instantly recognizable sound. When the Chili Peppers come on, whether love them or hate them, you know it's the Chili Peppers. Simple Creatures. Think they made their own genre called trash pop or trash punk. Can't remember. Motorhead. Is it metal, hard rock, punk? Lima always said it was 50s rock and roll. Okay boss. Two Fingers. Also Evelyn on SoundCloud, but that's just stroking my own cock. 21 Pilots. Even the singer doesn't know what kind of music it is. Sleep Token. They fucking suck, but nobody sucks the same way as them. Cocteau Twins. They have their own language and made beautiful music. I've never seen anyone sounds looks like Michael Jackson all time. Tom Waits. Junkyard homeless alcoholic avant-garde jazz folk. Queen no genre therefore they're their own genre, woman shrugging. Captain Beefheart. The Grateful Dead. The Ramones. Oasis.